Dallas just pulled back a plan that prioritized vaccines for communities of color after Texas state officials threatened to pull vaccine doses. And this is the bullshit that I'm talking about, that we are continuously pawns in the game, and that people want to know why we are angry and why we're frustrated. And these are the reasons that we live enraged. And anybody who questions that makes me want to just holler, because it is a constant game when it comes to our people.
Yeah, Brooke talked about it earlier. She was saying how just because people have medical coverage doesn't mean the doctors treat us fairly. Black women, for some reason, doctors don't believe them when they say they're in pain, don't want to write them prescriptions because they think they're going to go sell it. So like, there's so much discrimination in our health insurance and in other industries. I just had a great writer on my show, Sean Rochester from the Black Tax, and we examined all of these areas from buying homes to financing rates to buying the cars and trade-ins and buying property, all these ways that Black people and brown people pay so much more money, Black people in particular in his particular book. So we have levels of inequality that go across the board. And to Texas, I don't know what the hell. I saw that article as well, Ida. That's a clear example of what we've been talking about here. How can you say, oh, we want to help the poorest among us to make sure that they get the medicine? And why would Texas not want that to happen? Poor people are the ones who are first line offenders. I thought we cared about our people on the front lines. Mm-hmm. What do you think? Who do you think those people are? Those are poor people. And that particularly would be Black and brown people. That's who's working those jobs. Those first responders we all talk about. So yeah, it's just hypocrisy, guys. Hypocrisy.
Then something about that's so frustrating to me is that we struggle with trusting science ourselves for a plethora of different reasons that aren't always our fault. But there's been a lot of conspiracy theories within our community when it comes to this vaccine and COVID-19, and a lot of people, saying publicly, like, we're not going to take it, we don't trust it, and being, very open about that and pushing that rhetoric. And then you've got other Black people who are watching us die, but feel like, bringing up, Tuskegee, which was the complete opposite, in that there was treatment and they didn't give it to them. And we shouldn't help the government do that to us again. And that's been my worry this whole time, that, guys, once you finally come around, just the old everyday normal racism is gonna, run its course, and you're helping it. And I understand some of the distrust, but yeah, exactly. That story is horrifying to me, because that is exactly what I thought. The Republican-led state is like, no. Black people are not going to skip the line. Even though we all agree that they're dying at a disproportionate rate, Black people are not going to skip the line. And so the conspiracy has been, we don't know if it works, and they want us to be the experiment. And look, lo and behold, we do know that it works, and Black people will not get to go first. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, that is so, and when we were talking about Medicare for all and healthcare, there are already lots of laws against racism on the books. You are not allowed to discriminate legally against Black people when it comes to hiring. But we all know that Lakeisha's resume gets thrown in the trash a lot more often than even Brooks. Like, you know what I mean? Because people don't know. And then because of the way it sounds, we already know racism, it just affects everything. And here we are with the vaccine that works. And immediately you see something like that. Dallas says, this is going to be a mess in the Black community, the Black and Latino communities. Let's try to fix that. And the state says no. Yep. Things like that. That's been what I've been worried about.
And, I just wanted to quickly say, because, every time I have an opportunity to shout out the common man, as they call them, when Tim was talking about the essential workers, when those white supremacists showed up at the Capitol on January 6th and made all of that, made that big mess, it was horrifying to see the janitors and the people that had to go back and clean that place up. And they looked like us. And that was infuriating because they had to go during a pandemic to clean that place up because a bunch of motherfuckers decided to have a temper tantrum. And those are the people whose lives we forsake when we talk about these things that don't have a choice. They don't have a choice. They have to go to work because they have to take care of their families. So I just want to make sure that I always honor those people because I come from that. And I think it's very important that I'm excited about the fact that we are educated and we have in spite of all the things that have been thrown against us, we still thrive and arrive at great heights. But let us not forget those people who always show up to work, who are honorable. When I grew up, those were the people who bought the first houses and the people who had health insurance and the people who were responsible and had money in the banks. And they are our heroes. And I like to shout them out. I would love for you to let people know what you got going on and where they can catch what you're doing, because the people who show up here, they show up and they need to be watching you wherever you are. So Tim, tell them where you are. What your show is a daily show?
Yeah, every day except Wednesday. Tonight is my phone-in show. So we open up phone lines tonight and on Tuesdays. So find me on YouTube or Facebook, Real Tim Black or The Tim Black Show, and call in. And if those people trolling in the comment section, don't just troll in the comment section. Call in and let's hear you defend your shitty-ass arguments.
Brooke?
He got time. Tuesdays and Thursdays, right? What'd you say? It's Tuesdays and Thursdays? I'm on Fox Soul's The Black Report, and we are live every day, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For an hour, you can find us. We stream live on YouTube. We are on the Fox Soul app. Obviously, we're on Roku, Apple TV, Samsung TV. You can find us pretty much anywhere. And it's basically just national news from a Black perspective. And there are multiple Black people on the show, all getting different perspectives because Blackness is not, monolithic.
That's right.
And
to Indigenous people, man.
That part, yes.
Absolutely.
That's what I was thinking about when that lady was crying. I thought about Indigenous people, to hear that woman crying, saying, "This is our country," and the pain, and the trauma associated with what not has happened to Indigenous First Nations people, what is continuing to happen, that, First Nations women are missing at a rate, they get murdered at a rate without consequences, without even any media coverage. It's just, look, I believe that we can be great. I believe we have the potential to be great, but we have to be honest in order for us to be great. And so in order for us to move forward and really, really move forward, we cannot ignore the past and we have to learn from it, and I just think that a lot of people want us to develop amnesia while they're still, trying to give it to us with no Vaseline. And that's not, we're not here for that anymore. We are done with that. What we are looking forward to is real talk so that we can have real action and real progress.